Hello again, my long life yogis, and welcome back. We are going to continue to check our energy, what kind of energy we are putting out in the world, and what kind we are allowing to come back in. In this video, we are going to learn how to identify if our root chakra is closed. As a reminder, this energy is a reflection of our basic desire for survival, safety, and security. And it can start to close without us even realizing it. But we can become more aware of this change in our energy by observing how we feel. So see if you can relate to any of these signs. When the root chakra is closed, we feel insecure about who we are and what we're doing. So we become easily distracted. Our efforts become scattered, rushing from task to task, searching without really knowing what we're looking for. Our actions become based off fear and scarcity because we do not feel grounded. Often this is caused by stress, and we can notice if we are experiencing difficulty sleeping, a low appetite, weight loss, and a weakened faith. You may be experiencing all, a few, or none of these symptoms, but regardless, we practice self-awareness and examine these symptoms in our root chakra as regular maintenance. If any of these apply to you, then we can counteract this energy through the following sequence of poses or asanas that are designed to calm and comfort, to feel less scattered and more supported. So for today's practice, we will do poses designed to open up the hips and calm our spirit. As we feel more grounded and secure, we'll notice that in our daily actions, we will have more focus. So let's get started. Okay, so we are going to start in the most grounding of all the poses, which is Shavasana. So come all the way down to laying flat on your back. So as we settle into this pose and really outstretch all of our limbs, we find some peace and we find some relaxation. Coming back to our breath, our pranayama, we take a nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale out of the mouth. We bring all of our focus and our attention to our breath, breathing in again. Finding your rhythm and your pacing in your breath. Really slow things down. Since a closed root chakra is usually the cause by stress, we're going to let it all go during this experience on the mat. We're going to find our safe space and some tranquility here. So take one more deep breath in, breathing in fresh, clean air. On the exhale, hug the knees in towards the chest. Give them an embrace with the arms, squeeze them in close to the chest as we begin to warm up the hip space. We'll hold here for one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, extend both arms out in opposite directions with fingers pointed to the sky as if to say, stop. This is our gesture to freeze time. During moments when we feel rushed, when we feel scattered, we can practice this motion and choose to be in our own dimension, where nothing is waiting for us, Nothing is continuing except our own heartbeat. We have found a space simply for us. With strong outstretched arms, we take a final breath in. And on the exhale, we bring our hands together, Anjali Mudra with prayer hands, and lower them all the way down to our heart center. We focus our mind on the root chakra. We choose to be grounded, secure, and safe. We'll release all the limbs down to the mat with our feet planted down. And we are going to do a windshield wiper motion from here. So we'll drop both knees over to the left. In this motion, our upper body is relaxed, and we feel the low spine going down into the tailbone, getting a nice twist and stretch. Relax the knees, let go of any control that you might be holding on to in your hips or in your thighs, and allow gravity to pull down on your knees. Nice, deep, slow stretch here, really taking our time. The right knee might not be all the way down on the ground, but with continued practice, it will get there. We'll hold this pose for 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we lift our knees back to center. Feels great. Let's do that on the other side, dropping both knees down, this time to the right. Noticing that the left and right side might feel different, that's totally okay. A nice twist through the lower lumbar spine here. So the mid-spine and shoulders are both still evenly planted down on the mat, but we feel that left hip rise. The left knee is pointed down to the bottom of the mat, and we work on relaxing the legs and allowing that left knee to lower down to the ground. We'll hold here for 2 breaths. Deep inhale. And exhale. Last one, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we lift the knees, returning to center. Placing our hands to our knees, we're going to draw some big circles, round and round, really warming up the hips and the low back. This feels like a little massage for the low back and the tailbone. We'll go around one more time before we switch directions. Each time we go around, getting a little bigger and a little wider, slowing down wherever it might feel nice. One more time around, and we'll enjoy some stillness. Beautiful. Hands slide down to the ankles for a reclined butterfly pose. The soles of our feet come together to touch. We hold onto our ankles or our shins, and we avoid holding onto our toes, as we have a tendency to pull on our toes, and that can do some long-term damage on our ankles. So for here, our arms are going to be our strength, and we are going to relax the knees, nice and wide with the hips, and we'll hold for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we'll relax, planting both feet down on the mat and rocking up to a seated position. From here, we'll go into staff pose, sending our hips back and our legs straight. Squeezing in full body activation, we inhale. Exhale. The last one, deep breath in. And exhale, we relax. Beautiful. Let's bend the right knee and plant the right foot down on the ground. We'll take our left elbow and hook it around the right knee, opening up our body to the right. Right hand plants down behind us, and we lift and lengthen through the spine, twisting all the way back. We'll hold here for 2 breaths. Deep inhale and exhale. Last one, deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll return our torso to forward. With our left hand, we'll grab a hold of the outside of the right foot, extend it all the way out. Right arm reaches back behind us. So the right arm is strong and straight. The fingers are closed and the thumb is stacked on top. This is our arrow or our sword. So as we are counteracting the scattered feeling that we might be feeling, this pose is about accuracy, focus, and a direction. So we'll hold it here for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale. And on the exhale, we'll release back to center. Let's do that sequence on the other side. So this time we'll bend the left knee, plant the left foot down. Hook the left knee with the right arm and twist, opening up to the left. Left hand plants down behind us. Think of lifting and lengthening through the spine, sitting up nice and tall, and twisting deeper into the pose. Seeing the limits of our body, seeing how far we can twist behind, even looking with our eyes as far to the left as we can to work on our sight line here. Holding for 2 breaths. Deep inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. On the exhale, we return our torso to forward. Right hand grabs the outer edge of the left foot and extends it all the way out. Left arm is our arrow or our sword, pointing directly behind us. Strong arm, nice spinal twist through the low back, and a nice stretch through the hamstring on the left side. 2 breaths, inhale, exhale. Last one, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we return to center. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Holding on to wherever is accessible, whether that is the shins or the bottom of the feet. We have a nice rounded back, a relaxed neck, a heavy head. We'll hold this pose, keeping our legs as straight as we can to enjoy a hamstring stretch. We'll hold for 2 breaths. Deep inhale. On the exhale, pull yourself down a little more, deeper into the pose. A last inhale. And on the exhale, we slowly rise, being gentle to come out of the pose. And even doing a shoulder roll once we reach the top. Beautiful. Butterfly pose, we bring the soles of our feet together. Once again, holding onto our ankles or our shins and avoiding pulling on our toes. We sit up nice and tall, a long and straight spine, working on our posture. Shoulders are tucked down, away from the ears. The arms are going to be our strength here, so pull your heels as close to your hips as you can. The closer your heels are to the hips, the more intense this is going to feel. And relax the lower body. Allow the knees to be pulled down towards the earth. We'll take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, flex through the biceps. Strong arms, pulling the torso closer to the heels. We might not be pulling in too far before we've reached our limit, and that's totally okay. Just a nice straight spine and relax the knees for our inner groin stretch. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale. last one, deep breath in. On the exhale, we release and relax. The legs stay in the same shape, but we just extend the knees out away from us. So it's less like a butterfly and more like a diamond. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. If your hands can come down and touch the mat in front of your toes, do so. And if you can flip your hands to be palms face up in our surrender pose. Once again, a rounded back and a heavy head, we notice how the sensation moves from the inner groin to the outer hip. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. The last one, breath in. And on the exhale, we slowly rise. Using our hands to close our knees, we'll plant our feet hip-width distance apart. Our hands come back behind us and we'll do some final windshield wiper motions. I like to do these to counteract those deep butterfly stretches. So we'll hold here for one more breath, down to the left, down to the right, and then we'll cross up the ankles and rock up to tabletop pose. Working on our alignment here and stacking our bones, we'll have our knees directly underneath our hips and our wrists directly underneath our shoulders. From here, we'll do a cat and cow sequence. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze up and point the tailbone to the sky. Exhale, round and contract, tucking the tailbone in, gazing at the belly button. We feel that separation between our shoulder blades. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale, look up. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, round and empty the lungs. Last one is our best one. Deep breath in, really drop that belly. Exhale, round. Great for our spinal health. We'll return to a neutral tabletop pose here. From here, we'll go into child's pose. So knees wide, toes come together. We sink our hips back towards our heels. Extend the arms all the way out and rest our forehead and our chest towards the ground. Option here to do a variation with our hands. The palms of our hands can come together in prayer, and we bring our thumbs to the back of the neck. This will add in a nice tricep stretch. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And on the exhale, we rise. Beautiful. We'll stay in this child's pose with our hips towards our heels, but we'll walk our hands as far over to the right as we can for a side body stretch. I always feel a little bit like a cat when I do this. Nice deep stretch in. And on the exhale, walk the hands back to center. We'll do that on the other side, walking the hands as far to the left this time, enjoying a stretch through the right ribs. Inhale. And on the exhale, we'll walk our hands back to center. Beautiful. We rise to tabletop pose, bringing our knees back underneath our hips. From here, we'll do a thread the needle sequence. Left arm rises, reaches up to the sky, and then threads the needle. The left hand goes between the right knee and the right hand. We drop our left shoulder and our left ear down to the mat. The right hand stays planted with elbow high, doing a half push-up. If this is enough here, you can hold this, enjoying a stretch through the left upper back and through the left shoulder blade. If you're looking for more intensity here, you can push into the fingers and twist into the spine even more. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you inhale, expand the ribs, and you'll notice an even deeper stretch. And exhale. Beautiful. Last one, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we rise back to tabletop pose. Let's do that on the other side. This time, right arm rises. And we thread the needle between the left hand and the left knee. We drop our right shoulder and our right ear down to the ground. Pushing that right shoulder down, keeping our hips stacked over our knees. We'll hold here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, breath in. On the exhale, we rise. Beautiful. Supported plank, we'll reach our hands out in front of us and we'll do an inchworm. So we lower our chest down to the mat, glide it forward and rise up into cobra. Send the hips back to child's pose. We'll do that 2 more times. Glide the chest, inchworm forward, rise up to cobra. Send the hips back. Last one we'll do in silence. Inhale. Exhale. Great. With our hands still extended out in front of us, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, send the hips all the way up to the sky. We'll hold here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. On the exhale, take the right foot and step it all the way to the top of the mat for our runner's lunge. Right away, dropping the back knee, untucking the left toes. In this runner's lunge, we have our right foot on the outside of both hands. The right knee is directly over the right ankle. And the left knee is extended back, allowing our hips to sink. We lift our gaze and hold for 2 breaths. Last inhale. And on the exhale, we walk our hands back and extend that right foot all the way out to the side, toes still facing forward. We'll lift our shoulders stacked over our hips and we'll add in a side bend. Right hand glides down right leg, left arm sweeps all the way up and over. Holding this stretch for 2 breaths. Last inhale. On the exhale, we release, going right into airplane arms and setting our hips down towards our heel. Deep inner groin stretch here on the right leg and strengthen the upper body. Holding for 2 breaths. Last inhale. On the exhale, hands come down in front of us and we'll do that on the other side. We bring the right leg in and take a giant step to the top of the mat with the left foot for low lunge. Again, the foot is on the outside of both hands. The left knee is directly over the left ankle. We sink our hips a little bit lower and hold for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. On the exhale, we'll walk our hands back and take the left foot out to the side. Toes pointing towards the top of the mat. We lift up, stacking our shoulders over our hips, and we'll do a side body stretch. Left hand goes down left leg, right arm sweeps up and over. Holding here for 2 breaths. Last inhale. The exhale, we release to airplane arms. It reached out in either direction. And then we set our hips down towards our heels. A slight tilt in the torso. Gaze is straight down. We'll hold for 2 breaths. Last inhale. On the exhale, hands come down in front of us. We bring that left foot in and we return to downward facing dog. Hands reach out, tuck the toes, send the hips all the way up to the sky. Returning to this down dog, we'll pedal out the legs, getting a little deeper onto each hip. We're bicycling the knees, bending the left and bend the right. We'll hold here for 2 breaths. Last inhale, and on the exhale, take as many steps to the top of the mat. We'll meet in ragdoll fold. Holding on to opposite elbows, we'll give ourselves a little sway. A very reassuring pose here, very comforting. We can take this time to encourage ourselves, to know that we're exactly where we should be and that we know who we are. We can trust our instinct and then go with the flow. Last inhale here. On the exhale, bending to the knees a lot and take your time to rise. Really feeling every inch of your spine curl up and your head is the last thing to rise. Mountain pose, palms face forward, and we breathe. Cleansing breath, inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. Chair pose, feet are hip width distance apart. Sweep the arms all the way up to the sky and sink the hips down. Squeezing through the glutes and through the hamstrings. The weight of our body is in our heels and we get a little bit lower. Deep breath in. On the exhale, release, pushing into the heels to rise. We'll go into warrior 1. Left foot is planted down. We take a giant lunge back with the right foot. Again, you choose the intensity. The farther back you're going to step and the deeper you sink, the more that you're going to feel it. But we're not going to cheat ourselves out of the strengthening moment, right? So we'll get nice and low. Left knee is directly over the left ankle. Hands are going to be intertwined behind the head. In this pose, all 10 toes are facing forward and we're going to pulse. We'll sink down 5 times. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Hands reach out. Airplane arms will take a giant step up into warrior 3. Left foot is still our anchor. Right toes are pointed behind us. We're making sure that those hip bones are both level, parallel to the ground, and the arms are extended out to the side. Big strengthening here through the glutes as we squeeze to lift that leg. Holding here for 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale, release to standing. Beautiful. Let's seal that energy with a vinyasa. Inhale, arms sweeps up, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive into the ragdoll fold. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips come to our shins, back is parallel to the ground. Exhale, fold down once more, this time planting the hands, bending the knees, and stepping each foot back into a plank pose. Lowering down, chaturanga, to our belly. Untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra for a nice back bend. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Nice transition there. Really warming up the body and pointing that root chakra all the way up to the sky. Beautiful. Last inhale. On the exhale, hop or jump your feet to the top of the mat. And halfway lift for our ragdoll fold once more. Take this time to catch your breath. Focus on the energy that we are targeting. The root chakra, the grounding, the stability, the focus. Last inhale. On the exhale, bend into the knees a lot. Roll up. Take your time. Mountain pose. Beautiful. Take a moment. Breathe it all in. Enjoy the strength of your body. We'll do that sequence again on the other side. So chair pose, feet are hip width distance apart. Reach your arms towards the heavens and sink your hips down. Strengthening the glutes, strengthening the legs. Hold here, inhale. Exhale a little bit lower, beautiful. Eliminating any sway in that low back. Last breath in. On the exhale, push up to rise, beautiful. This time our right foot is going to be our anchor and we'll lunge back with the left, warrior one. All 10 toes are facing forward, fingers are intertwined behind our head. Choose your intensity, the deeper you go. We don't want to cheat ourselves, right? Building up some strength here. We'll do our 5 pulses. Down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms come out, airplane arms. We'll take a giant step to warrior 3. Right foot is our anchor. Left arm, left leg reaches back behind us. Our gaze is straight down and we are focused. Holding here for 3 breaths. Hips are parallel to the mat. Last inhale. On the exhale, we release, coming to standing. Beautiful. Vinyasa. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, ragdoll fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold once more. Plant the hands, step each foot back to plank pose. Chaturanga, lower down to the belly. Untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release back down. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Great job, guys. Whatever you brought to the mat, it's falling off of you. You are stronger and you are more secure. Feel more safe. Last inhale. Exhale, hop or float to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Ragdoll fold. Beautiful. Take this time to catch your breath. Feel the weightlessness of the upper body, the dangling of the arms, the stretch of the legs. Come back to the body, come back to the breath. Last inhale. Exhale, bend into the knees and roll up. Mountain pose, stronger and more confident. Beautiful. All right, warrior 2, left foot is planted down, lunge back with the right, but this time rotate that heel so that your foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. You might need to adjust. I didn't step back far enough, and that's okay. We always just sort of wiggle our feet until we have reached the intensity that we're looking for. There's that external hip rotation happening in this front left leg, so really squeeze and open that knee out so the knee is pointing in the same direction as those toes. Arms reach out parallel to the mat, and we gaze over the left middle finger. A warrior prides themselves on their accuracy. We'll hold here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. On the exhale, we'll straighten that front left knee. Point all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Beautiful. This stretch should feel really good after all that strength building. Wherever you're holding on to, whether it's hands flat on the mat, holding onto your ankles, allow your head to dangle. Nice deep stretch for the legs. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. On the exhale, we rise. Torso lifts, arms rise as well. Toes are pointed out, heels are pointed in, goddess pose. We bend into the knees. Knees nice and wide, and we cactus the arms with palms face up. In goddess pose, we hold this position of strength, shining that root chakra down to the ground, energizing it, stabilizing it. We'll hold here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll lift and straighten. Heel toe that right foot in a little bit for triangle pose. Left toes point to the front of the mat. We'll drop our hip, pointing it out to the right. Airplane arms tilt down. Left hand grabs a hold of left ankle. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. This feels amazing down my left leg. I hope you feel it too. Last one. And on the exhale, right hand comes down. Left hand comes down. Take a giant step to the top of the mat. Ragdoll fold. Take this as your time to breathe. Gather your energy. Focus your mind. Last breath in. On the exhale, bend the knees, roll up, mountain pose. Enjoying this time on the mat. We'll do that sequence on the other side. This time, right foot is planted. Lunge back with the left for warrior 2. Rotate the back foot so that it is toes pointed to the long edge of the mat. The right foot, the toes are pointed to the front edge of the mat. And arms reach out, parallel to the ground. Gaze specifically over your right middle finger. Accuracy and focus. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. On the exhale, straighten that right leg. Point all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Choose your place where you'll rest your hands, and we'll hold here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. On the exhale, we slowly rise. Goddess pose, toes pointed out, heels pointed in. Lower the knees, lower the root chakra, cactus the arms, palms face up, and we'll hold goddess pose for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. On the exhale, we lift and straighten. We'll bring that left foot in a little for triangle pose. Right toes face the top of the mat. Airplane the arms. And we fold down to the right. Right hand grabs a hold of the right ankle. Left arm reaches all the way up to the sky. Look up at your left hand if it's comfortable for the neck. Otherwise, look forward or look down. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down, both hands planted down on the mat. We take a giant step up. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up above your head. Hands lower to heart center for our Anjali Mudra. Resting prayer hands. Beautiful. Let's seal all of that energy with our final vinyasa. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, swan dive into ragdoll fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down, step each foot back into plank pose. Chaturanga, lower down to the belly, untuck the toes. Inhale, lift up for cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Child's pose, send your hips to your heels and choose the width of your knees. Resting here, much deserved relaxation. Go ahead and give yourself a compliment for all that you just completed, and we'll rest for 3 breaths. Last inhale. And on the exhale, we rise, tabletop pose. From here, we're going to slow things down and we'll come down onto our back. Laying all the way down, we're going to slow things down with our bridge pose. In bridge pose, the upper body is relaxed, and we'll do our final strengthening of the lower body. Feet are planted down on the mat, hip-width distance apart. Arms are by our side, our head, our jaw, our chest, they're all relaxed. Take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, curl the tailbone up, squeeze into the glutes and rise the hips to the heavens. Keep the knees stacked over the ankles. Avoid the tendency to open the knees out to the side. Hugging everything into the midline for 2 breaths. Inhale. You got this. Exhale. Last one. We're going to love the results from this. And on the exhale, we slowly roll down the spine until the hips are the last thing to touch the ground. Beautiful. Hug your knees in towards our chest for a final squeeze before we really slow things down. Enjoy this pose in stillness or swaying side to side. We'll hold this here for 3 breaths. Last inhale. On the exhale, we find stillness. Beautiful. Keep the right knee hugged in towards the body. Extend the left leg out. We'll now cross the right knee as far over to the left as possible and use the right arm extended down on the ground as our anchor. We'll know we've twisted too far if our shoulder blades come up off the mat. So nice deep stretch here through the glutes, through the hip. A counter stretch to all that strength. Holding here for 1 more deep breath in. And on the exhale, we return to center. Switching legs, hug the left knee in, extend the right leg out. Squeeze the knee in towards the chest and then cross it over the body as far to the right. Use the extended left hand on the ground as your anchor. And release any control you're holding on to in the hips. With the ultimate goal of stacking the left hip on top of the right, we'll hold for 1 more breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, we release to center, extending both legs out and arms out for our final resting pose of Shavasana. A much deserved, a much needed rest. We just take this time to be thankful, clearing our mind of anything past, even up to a few moments ago. Learning to laugh at our mistakes. Learning to take it 1 moment at a time. Learning to focus on 1 thing at a time. We focus on our breath. We have 1 single thought, and that is gratitude. We are thankful to be here, to be alive, and to be well. As you continue resting in the Shavasana position, I will guide us through some affirmations. Close your eyes and repeat after me. I allow myself to slow down and enjoy life. I treat my body with love and respect. I I am willing to change and grow. I trust the timing of my life. I step into my power with confidence and grace. I am grounded. This will be our mantra. We'll repeat it 3 times and then enjoy some silence. I am grounded. I am grounded. I am grounded. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. It's a gentle way to bring your mind back to your body. Reach your arms all the way up overhead for our good morning stretch, stretching your fingers as far from your toes as you can, expanding the rib cage. And when you're ready, slowly roll to one side, pause there and use your arms as a pillow. As you lay, before you rise, take this time to encourage yourself, knowing that you have plenty of time to get done what you need, and you have people around you that are willing to help. Take one more deep breath in, and on the exhale, slowly return to seated, using your arms to help guide you there. We meet in the center of our mat in the easy pose. With hands at our heart, we humbly bow and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me again, guys. I am really enjoying this time with you, and I hope that you are finding the benefits in really checking your energy and learning how to open up the hips and open up the body. I will see you in the next video, and until then, God bless.